Well, just got myself a coffee from my local store. And always remember, guys, support your local shops because they're not corporate enterprises. They're real people making a living for their families. So got myself a coffee here from the corner shop. They do some really good products, and I'll bet your corner shop has some good products as well. So always make sure you support those local small businesses because they're the people that live in your area and they're the people that are part of your community. Well, anyway, just a bit about, supporting your community. But I was just watching a video by Cycling Tips and basically, quote, integrated handlebars are dumb. Now, I know that's probably could be seen as a bit dramatic or a slander or whatever, but really they're throwing some truth bombs out there. So let's roll an intro and let's have a talk about why they said that. Well, let's face it, integrated handlebars, disc brakes have really brought a different look to road bikes. And there's no getting away from it. It gives a very clean look because they're hydraulic, the hoses can be bent at much more tortuous angles or a smaller radius. So you can put them through the handlebars and you can put them inside the bike and it's not a problem. And now we've got electric gears, and a lot of that's wireless. And even if it's not wireless, it's just a little tiny wire that can bend around very tight corners. So you can have these integrated systems that look really schmick, and the cafe bling is like, over the top. So when you rock up to your cafe, you go, "Ooh, that's a nice bike." But making that step past beauty, which we do know is only skin deep, then we have to look at the practicality of these systems. And the way that a lot of these top-end bikes are designing their bikes is they're making the integrated handlebar one piece, or even if they're two piece, they only work with their handlebar and have limited adjustment. So what that means is, it means that when you get a bike and you go, look, I've got the right shoe that fits me, I've got the right saddle that fits me, and then we come to the handlebar now is a compromise because let's be real, the different variations on the handlebar, your stem lengths can vary, the angle that you like on the stem can vary, the handlebar itself can have different drops. You might like a more aero one because you like to rest your forearms on the handlebar. You might like a round one because you like to fit your lights and your computer and all that. You might like a compact drop, you might like a full drop. Some people like the ones that have the kick-ups, and people like them narrower, they like them wider. I particularly like the ones that have a very sharp angle where they turn at the ends. I don't like the ones with the smooth angle. So you have those, if you've been riding for some time, you have those personal choices about how you like your handlebars because it's something that you have a fair bit of weight on, especially if you have a bit of a aero position, and you want that to feel really comfortable when you're riding your bike. And this is the problem because when you go to your bike shop, and this is what Cycling Tips really pointed out, you go to your bike shop and you want to get fitted up, and your bike shop may not have all of these different variations that the manufacturer offers. Like, let's just say they offer 16 or maybe 20 different variations. Even if they have them in the shop, to set them up so you can get on them with all the concealed cables, it's just a massive difference to change that out and put all the different stuff on because it's all integrated. They're all hydraulic cables. It's not like they're all out, and with a normal bike you can just take the STMs off or change the stem. It's much simpler. So you could spend hours in the shop trying to fit with the handlebars. That's if they've got them. And knowing most bike shops, they just don't stock all that stuff because those integrated handlebars, I don't know what they are from the makes, but I know the aftermarket ones like Time and Black Ink and that, they can be pushing $1,000 AUD, which I suppose maybe about 700 US. So I don't know what they are in your currency, but that's a lot of money, and that's why the bike shops don't want them sitting on their racks because most people, get a bike and they build it up and they go out there and then they might they go, oh, it looks really cool, and they might ride it for a while and then come back and go, oh, look, I don't really like these handlebars. And then that's a massive procedure to make that change. You can't just tilt it, you can't just take those off and put narrower, wider handlebars on or whatever. Unless you have a bicycle fit before you buy the bike and you go in there and say, this bike must have these dimensions. I'm not taking it out of the shop unless it has this. I'm paying X amount of money. You need to make sure that it meets those measurements. And a lot of people don't do that, especially if they're fairly new to cycling. And this is where the problem comes. Yeah, they look great and, you know, they're beautiful, but, you know, a bike is for riding. It's not for leaning up against the wall at your cafe to admire. You know, you might go for a 40k ride and it takes you a couple of hours and then you're sitting there for 10 or 15 minutes, bling, bling bike. So it really, practicality wise, you need to be a bit careful when you're buying these bikes. And, you know, coming full circle, Cycling Tips is spot on, man. Massive truth bombs there from an online magazine, which is unusual, is that they're actually dumb as far as the practicality goes. They're not dumb aesthetically, and they're not dumb as far as, you know, aero and all those sorts of other things that you want to argue, even though it's peanuts. But, you know, they just don't work that well, you know, when it comes to getting on your bike and getting comfortable. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next vid. Cheers.